Now on CoastTV News.
Honoring Corporal Snook.
It really hit me and my family.
New ways to help the fallen officer's family and new information from the DMV where he was killed. Giving blood, giving back. Why the blood bank says this is a critical time to donate. Tree disposal, where to safely get rid of your Christmas landmark.
This is CoastTV News at 11.
Tragic shooting will be left be for another week. Good evening. I'm Madeline Overturf. New tonight in upstate DMV will remain closed another week after a state trooper was shot and killed there. DelDOT saying tonight the Wilmington DMV will stay closed all next week, and the agency thanking everyone for their patience and understanding. Today, Delaware State Police identified 44-year-old Raman Rose as the man who killed Corporal Matthew Snook at the Wilmington DMV. This was Tuesday before Christmas, December 23rd. Corporal Snook was there working overtime when troopers say Rose killed him. We also learned today that Corporal Snook was shot from behind, and the shooter only shot him and the responding officers, no other customers in the DMV. Delaware State Police say after being shot, Corporal Snook pushed a DMV employee out of the way and told that worker to run as Rose continued to fire shots at Snook, who was on the ground. Troopers say the shooter, Rose, allowed customers to leave the DMV and waited for responding officers. At that point, troopers say Rose and those officers traded gunfire. A Newcastle County police officer saw Rose and shot him through a window from outside the DMV. Now, Rose was taken to the hospital where he was also pronounced dead. Snook leaves behind a wife and daughter, and to help the family, a fundraiser has been started by the Delaware State Troopers Association at helpahero.com. And Barstool Sports founder Dave Portnoy is selling a t-shirt with Corporal Snook's name on it, saying 100% of the proceeds will go to the family, and Portnoy will personally match donations too. As Delaware continues to mourn Trooper Snook's death, people have visited a memorial for him upstate and expressed shock.
No one really realizes what they go through until something like this happens. And it really hit me and my family.
Corporal Snook's death was the first law enforcement officer to be killed on the job since 2021. In April 2021, Delmar Corporal Keith Heacook was killed and attacked while responding to a call. Prior to that, in 2017, Delaware State Police Trooper Corporal Stephen Ballard was shot and killed at a Wawa in Bear while investigating a suspicious vehicle. 2 months prior, Correctional Officer Lieutenant Stephen Floyd was killed during a prison riot in Smyrna. In Sussex County in 2009, Georgetown Police Officer Chad Spicer was killed while attempting to stop a car in a previous shooting. With Chad Spicer's death, any line of duty death really hits home in Georgetown. That's why, in part to honor Trooper Snook, a vigil will be held Sunday at 6 at the Georgetown Circle. One of the organizers is State Senator Brian Pettyjohn, who says the impact is widespread.
Doesn't matter if they're from Georgetown, if they're from the area, or if they're upstate. We always have something here in Georgetown to help support the family and help them through their time of need.
Pettyjohn says the circle will be closed off to car traffic on Sunday. We have information about that vigil and the fundraisers right now on CoastTV.com. New tonight, Worcester County is accepting live Christmas trees for a free drop-off through January 31st. This is at the Central Landfill in Newark and homeowner convenience centers in Berlin, Pocomoke, and Snow Hill. In Ocean City, you could drop trees off at the northeast corner of the 100th Street Municipal Lot through January 15th.
Shredding the Christmas trees, mulching them, that counts towards our recycling rate for the state, which is 20%, and right now we're currently at 37.52.
Worcester County encourages those with trees take off all the ornaments and lights before you drop it off. Chop Tank Bowling and Billiards has closed its doors in Dorchester County, marking the end of a long-time gathering place in Cambridge. The alley served as a regular meeting spot for leagues, families, and pool tournaments, drawing players from around the Midshore. For many who spent years there, the loss is beyond a game.
I've done this all my life. I've been in several pool rooms, but this is top of the line.
The owners say they are thankful for the support they've received over the years. In Worcester County, the town of Berlin is searching for a new chief following the retirement of Chief Downing. Lieutenant Robert Fisher has been appointed interim chief. The town says applications for the permanent position are now open. As we take a look outside, we're going to turn it over to our First Alert Chief Meteorologist, Paul Williams.
Well, right now, we are actually starting to see a lot of the rain that we had earlier this evening. It's beginning to taper off right now. We're going to take a look at tracking that for you. And the good news is that, hey, the rain's going to come to a stop, but that overall overwhelming moisture, that raw feel, that's hanging around for a little while, pretty much all day tomorrow. We're 36 degrees for us actually in Milford at this present time. And we're a couple of degrees below where we were just 24 hours ago, 5 degrees cooler, for example, in places like Easton. But I mean, we're in the 40s and 30s, 36 in Redden, 38 in Laurel, as well as Georgetown. And here's a look at that rain as beginning from earlier this evening and already beginning to clear out for us. And it's clearing out even more as we speak. Now, coming up, the cloud cover is going to stick around, Maddie. However, the temperatures are about to go up, at least for a smidgen.
Paul, thank you. And a lot of people going out this weekend to shop, so we want to ask, what is your return strategy? Let's take a look at the results so far. You can see people coming in to vote so far and given their responses here. And, you know, if you haven't voted yet, totally okay. You still can at CoastTV.com or our mobile app, and we'll have updates later. Rehoboth Beach is preparing for a parking change in 2027. The city says physical parking permits will go away and all be virtual. Coast TV News reporter Brandon Ferguson shows us how this change is coming as permanent sales are dropping.
These parking tags in Rehoboth Beach will only have one more summer in the city.
I think it'll be a good experience.
Rehoboth Beach data shows sales of parking permits dropped 36% from 2023 to 2025. Rich Zabinski says the change could come with difficulties. Zabinski says going virtual could be difficult on older homeowners.
But overall, I mean, everything's going virtual, so it's just following the trends.
The city says the change will make enforcement of parking permits more efficient. According to Rehoboth Beach's website, the virtual system would work with rental properties too, allowing for a transferable guest permit and allowing for property owners to assign permits to multiple guests.
I think that's fine as long as people would know what they're getting into beforehand.
For now, there's one more year before this parking pass goes virtual. In Rehoboth Beach, Brandon Ferguson, Coast TV News.
We have more news to get to this evening, including 5 food myths to leave behind in 2026. But first, Santa has come and gone, but the holiday spirit's still shining on Delmarva. We have your cool things to do this weekend. Still in the Christmas spirit, there's a lot of more festive fun to be had this weekend, and actually, Christina DiRobertis has our cool things to do on the coast.
If you have any extra holiday spirit lying around, Shellville awaits you this weekend. The Christmas Village behind Tanger Outlets is open Friday, Saturday, and Sunday with live music and all the usual holiday magic. Plus, Ocean City's Winter Festive Lights continues until December 31st. That's from 5:30 to 9:30 p.m. at Northside Park. It's your last chance to take in those sparkling displays before the lights go dark for the season. You can also head to Lewis to check out holiday light displays all throughout the city until December 31st. And holidays at the Hammock at Crooked Hammock Brewery is still happening. That includes drink and food specials, s'mores, and more. Finally, if the gifts you got did not quite hit the mark this year, you might be headed out on a return mission. Tanger Outlets are open from 10 to 9 Saturday and from 10 to 7 on Sunday. If you missed any of that, don't worry, we have all the details on CoastTV.com right now.
The rain we've had earlier this evening continue to keep it kind of raw and damp, generally speaking. And because we're going to have mostly cloudy skies, that raw and dampness will just stick around all day Saturday. But we're right now hovering at 39 degrees, and 39, 38, 37, those are going to be the popular numbers over the next, let's say, 24 to 36 hour period because of that same thick cloud cover. Winds pushing out of the north. We're at 38, 36, 37. Generally speaking, we got a couple of 40s right here, actually, for Lewis, Rehoboth Beach, Indian River Inlet, as well as Bethany Beach, 41, by the way, for Ocean Pines. We're a couple of degrees cooler than we were just yesterday, so we're feeling pretty much the same way. Now, we see the remnants of the rain from earlier this evening. The last remnant, this is the last I could to pull some scattered showers pushing across portions of our viewing area, but we do have a small craft advisory that's going to stay active until lunchtime Sunday, meaning we're talking about 25-mile-per-hour winds. And the winds are going to start pouring out of the north tomorrow, and they're going to be uncomfortable winds because we'll have little to no sunshine, so it's going to be, what's the technical meteorological word? Yucky. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about. Really yucky and cloudy and clammy and all those other words that don't seem so fun. Also, we do have some more in the way of wintry weather to our north, and that's going to continue to be a threat really up going into all of Saturday, basically. But even as I take a look at what's happening with our forecasting models, you'll see that last of the rain clears out quickly, and we'll start off Saturday with a little more sunshine than expected, but it's going to cloud up real quickly after that. Winds are out of the south initially, but by the time we get to mid-morning Saturday, here's the winds coming out of the north at 29 to 26 to 27 miles per hour. That's going to be uncomfortable without the proper clothing. Dress in layers, okay? And Saturday night, same situation if you're going out. Sunday, we get a little warmer, and we start leaning into a warmer day going particularly into Monday. By the way, your shopping forecast, in case you're having that return bug hitting you, 37 to 39 to 38, cloudy all day long and not changing for Saturday. And then we'll hover at about 40 on a lot of locations, but look at these winds. Oh! Makes my bones ache right now. I'm just looking at it right now, 20 to 25 miles per hour. So we're looking at 40 for the high in Georgetown, 38 in Seaford, 40 for the high in Cambridge, and we'll warm to 41, for example, in Pocomoke City. So Saturday we start off cloudy, we end up cloudy. Sunday we start off a little bit clearer, 31, 30 degrees below freezing, and we lean into about 40s, and then we get a little progressively warmer. Now, we are watching out for dense fog for Sunday, particularly in Del Mar, Salisbury, and Seaford, but it clears out by the evening time. Now, our chances of rain escalate for us big time by the time we get into Monday, because that's when we have our chances of rain, but it's been downgraded a bit from 50% down to 25. Very breezy on Monday for locations, particularly Fenwick Island, going into Ocean City, and then we're watching out for breezy conditions to kick in for Monday. Last but not least, this is that look at the Monday rain. It's going to sweep through kind of quickly and then move out of the way. Here's a look at your 7-day forecast. I just have to be honest with you. I know I'm out of time, but hang on. We're going to go from Monday 63 all the way down to 25, and it's going to be windy. Please prepare for that.
Thank you, Paul. The Blood Bank of Delmarva says it experiences yearly deficits around the holidays and encourages everyone to donate blood. With winter illnesses, bad weather, and busy holidays, the Blood Bank says donating kind of gets put on the back burner.
A lot of people have time off during the holidays, and donating blood, just packed cells, really doesn't take long at all. You're here, I would say, less than an hour. And I know when I used to donate blood, just whole blood, it took me 10 minutes and that was it. So it's very easy to do. And it doesn't take long, and you can actually walk in. You don't have to have an appointment.
Due to holiday closures, extra donation times have been added. There are a ton of great moments from today, day one of the Governor's Challenge. DSN's Kayla Santiago is standing by at the Wicomico Youth and Civic Center with more.
What's going on, everybody? We have a fun-filled week. It's day one of the Governor's Challenge tournament, and we start with the local action. It's a cross-state battle between the Wicomico tribe and the Dover Senators. We start off with Dover. Javion Dennis knocking it down from Tripletown. Then Tyson Hayward gets it to go. It's Terrence Williams getting the deuce. DeMar Brunson, nothing but net for Y-High. Hayward back to the rim, and back and forth we go. Cameron Jackson Dixon gets the triple for the Senators. It's Chase Little up ahead. Little continues to pour it on. And how about the one-hand jam from Kareem King? Dover defeats Y-High 92-58. After the game, Dover senior Javion Dennis says this was a get-back game after losing to Y-High on this floor before.
Today, because I played it my freshman year and we lost on freshman year. And my little fun fact, I missed the game winner my freshman year in the corner right there. So it felt good making my first three in the game. It felt good. And Kareem King being the main guy today, making a dunk, making his layups, playing defense, and Chase Little and my point guard Cam making the right passes for my guys to eat today.
Now to recap a cross-conference battle. Middletown from Delaware and Sherwood from Maryland. Shane Lopez gets the dump off and scores the deuce. This time, it's Kyle Silberman from Sherwood gets the rock driving down the lane and in. Sherwood down by 11 in the first half. Other side for the Cavaliers. Middletown is now up 30-17. Now to Sherwood, working the ball around. Tyler Gramling lays it in, plus the foul. Cavaliers on a fast break. Nassar Sabri gets it to go. Sherwood pushing the pace, and a big-time slam from Jamar Nix. Kick out to Logan Eldridge, knocking it down from Tripletown, and he would get fouled. Middletown comes out on top big in this contest on day one, 79-61. And make sure you subscribe to DSM Plus today to catch all the action of the Governor's Challenge Tournament. Reporting from the Wycomico Youth and Civic Center for the Delmarva Sports Network, I'm Kayla Santiago.
It's been just under a year since Donald Trump took the oath of office for a second time, and since then we've witnessed a dramatic and transformational 12 months. NBC senior Washington correspondent Hallie Jackson. The first year of Trump 2.0.
I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear.
Starting on Inauguration Day, clear signs this Trump presidency would look different the second time around. Not just because weather forced the ceremony inside. On day one, a move to settle scores.
Approximately 1,500.
With the president pardoning or commuting the sentences of hundreds involved in the January 6th riot at the Capitol, and a show of force of executive action.
Could you imagine Biden doing this? I don't think so.
Among those day one executive orders, creating the Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE, led by Elon Musk. The president's new cabinet, one-time opponent Marco Rubio as Secretary of State, vaccine skeptic Robert F. Kennedy Jr. as Health Secretary, and former Fox News host Pete Hegseth at the Pentagon.
With the American media,
along with Vice President J.D. Vance, less a team of rivals than a group committed to advancing the Trump agenda. One of their first priorities, cracking down on illegal immigration.
We're getting these monsters out of the United States, out of Florida, out of all the places that they're in.
Hey, you guys good over there?
Government data reviewed by NBC News shows border crossings plummeted in the first year of the Trump presidency, with ICE arrests doubling. The administration's immigration policy sparking protests. In June, the president deploying the California National Guard to Los Angeles, the administration saying it was to protect federal property. California's Democratic leaders calling it a stunt. The National Guard later deployed to Washington, D.C., too.
We're not going to let it happen. We're not going to lose our cities over this. We're starting very strongly with D.C., and we're going to clean it up real quick.
Also on the president's agenda, trimming the federal workforce. Thousands of federal workers fired as part of those cuts, though hundreds would eventually be hired back, and DOGE itself was disbanded in November. And just as Musk's time at the White House was ending, a rift with President Trump over the so-called One Big Beautiful Bill.
The One Big Beautiful Bill to secure our borders, turbocharge our economy, and bring back the American dream.
Musk criticizing it as destructive. The president not happy.
Elon and I had a great relationship. I don't know if we will anymore.
Musk firing back online. Time to drop the really big bomb. Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. Musk's tweet, part of the renewed interest in the case of Jeffrey Epstein, a one-time Trump friend and later convicted sex offender, accused of trafficking underage girls before he died by suicide in jail in 2019. President Trump has long denied any involvement with Epstein's crimes.
I have nothing to do with Jeffrey Epstein. I threw him out of my club many years ago because I thought he was a sick pervert. But I guess I turned out to be right.
In November, after the longest government shutdown in American history, a bipartisan bid to try to force the release of the Epstein files succeeded, largely because of the support of several Republican women who split with President Trump, notably Marjorie Taylor Greene.
For the president to call me a traitor for standing with these women, I honestly don't really care what his opinion is. I know I did the right thing.
The White House itself evolving in the new Trump era, with concrete in the Rose Garden and construction of a new ballroom that led to destruction of the East Wing. In February, an Oval Office meeting with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky turning confrontational.
I'm very serious. You're gambling with the lives of millions of people.
The president taking credit for helping the peace push in multiple other conflicts, most notably with the ceasefire between Israel and Hamas in October. At the same time, stepping up pressure on what the administration said were South American cartels using boats to bring drugs into the country, with the strike in September receiving renewed scrutiny weeks later when it was revealed 2 survivors were killed in a so-called double-tap attack.
And we will keep killing them so long as they are poisoning our people with narcotics.
That's tariffs.
One of the most notable days of the first year of Trump 2.0, April 2nd.
Liberation Day.
Or what the administration called Liberation Day, with sweeping tariffs announced against major trading partners.
April 2nd, 2025 will forever be remembered as the day American industry was reborn, the day America's destiny was reclaimed, and the day that we began to make America wealthy again.
But through November's off-year elections, the economy and affordability remained key issues. President Trump dismissing concerns.
Affordability is a hoax that was started by Democrats. You know, it's 10 months.
President Trump spending the waning days of this year touting what he described as a strong economy. But on that, voters will decide before those all-important midterms next November that could impact the rest of his presidency. Hallie Jackson, NBC News.
Northside Park in Ocean City could be getting some upgrades. The Recreation and Parks Committee gave council an update on their plans. CoastTV News reporter Kevin Zapay shows us what's in store.
Northside Park in Ocean City is used year-round for people enjoying a nice stroll in the summertime to the Winterfest lights display in the winter.
This is a hidden gem.
Vince Ryan walks Northside Park 6 days a week and has for the past 5 years.
It's quiet here, it's open, you got plenty of room to do anything you want.
And now some planned upgrades are in the works. According to the Ocean City Park Superintendent, upgrades will include replacing the softball field lights with LEDs to cut costs and better light the area. It will also include upgrading the playground and improving the pathways to better prepare for drainage issues and improve walking conditions, something Ryan is all for.
I think it's in pretty good shape now. It's nice and flat. It's easy for me walking, but you could always flatten this in spots.
The overall cost for these projects will be around $1 million. And funding coming from the Capital Reserve Fund and state grants. According to the town, these upgrades happening to Northside Park is set to happen in 2026 and 2027. I'm Kevin Zapay in Ocean City, CoastTV News.
Another week in the NFL, and this Sunday, the Bears take on the 49ers. You can watch that game right here on CoastTV at 7 and stay with us for the news at 11. It's a question many of us probably ask. What should we do for dinner, right? If you're trying to reach healthy goals, it might be harder to find an answer to that question. And experts say wrong food choices are made every day because of certain misconceptions. In tonight's Health Minute, Mandy Gaither has 5 food myths to leave behind as we go into 2026.
From social media to well-meaning friends, food trends can spread like fire, and they're not always true.
As anyone who's tried any food trend, it's not a one-size-fits-all.
Registered dietitian Julia Zampano with Cleveland Clinic says the first common myth, to lose weight, you have to give up all your favorite foods.
Maybe you have it a little less often at a smaller portion, but I think all foods can fit into a plan.
Next, avoid grain products when trying to lose weight. That's false. Zampano says it's a matter of how much of those you're eating, what you're pairing them with, and how you prepare them.
It's most important just to choose whole grains and a very balanced diet.
Third, going gluten-free is healthier. Zampano says if you have gluten sensitivity, yes, avoid gluten. But she says that doesn't equal weight loss.
Gluten-free products are pretty much the same product like bread, but just made with a flour that doesn't have that protein in it.
Fourth, avoid all fats to lose weight. Again, false. Zampano says fat is essential to our bodies, but she says to limit the intake and focus on eating healthy fats. Finally, going vegetarian helps you lose weight and be healthier. That's a myth. While plant-based diets are healthy, simply avoiding meat doesn't necessarily equate to healthier outcomes.
You may not be meeting your protein needs, your calcium needs, or other nutrient needs. Make sure you get all your nutrient needs by the food choices you're making.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Christmas might be over, but we are still doing our holiday house where we see decorations. Let's show you a super cute one here. The This is from Teresa in Dagsboro. She says, Yoski and the Christmas tree. Love it. Thank you for showing us your adorable pup. We want to see how you're decking the halls all season long. Send us your photos and videos going to coasttv.com/holidayhouse. We're doing it through the new year. We'll be right back.
We take a look at Dover right now. We're at 39 degrees, dew point of 37. Now, I want you to notice, because the temperatures are so close to each other, that hovering moisture that we have in the atmosphere, that's going to be a thing for us and continue to be so. All right, the rain is clearing out of the way, and we're clearing out nicely for us right now. We do have concern for more wintry weather to our north up towards Philadelphia and New York and New Jersey and all those areas. Our umbrella giveaway winner is Stefan Letty of Milton. Congratulations, courtesy of Paul Davis Restoration Home Remodeling. Keep up with your forecast by calling our weather line. Sponsored by the office of Brockstead, Mandalis, and Federico. And here's a look at your 10-day forecast. We're going to get warm and cloudy on Monday and crazy cold with wind on Tuesday.
Thank you, and thanks for joining us here for Coast TV News. For more news and local weather, you can download our app. The Tonight Show star Jimmy Fallon is up next, and we'll see you tomorrow for Coast TV News at 6. Have a great night.